a couple people in here and we'll get on with the getting on. One, two, three. Oh shit. What up, Mr. Wilson? How you doing, Dr. Wilson? My good brother. Try to get a few people in here. Yeah, I'm getting ready to start my show prep for the big show that I do, and it usually takes about a month or two to get everything done. This year I'm taking way more than I took last year. What's up, Mr. Gillard? How's it going, my brother? And a lot of the stuff that I sold last year, after I got to thinking about it, was kitchen oriented, bowls, cutting boards, stuff like that. So I've been wanting to do one of these for a while because the one I have absolutely sucks. So we're going to give her a shot on a live, because why do a practice run on anything when you can fail in front of a live audience? Builds character, right? Okay, there's them. Those are marked. This can go over the Kraken on the box that he sent me. Give him a couple minutes and wait till he gets in here, and then I'll reveal the whole shebang. Because it's actually really, really cool. Really, really, really cool. It's not every day that I get really, really cool stuff in the mail. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this week's been super badass cool, but there's some dry spurts in there. And I gotta show you guys some stuff from the wow. The new laser came in. I'm gonna show you all some of the products off that. I think that's plenty deep enough for that nonsense. Those won't get drilled. Won't get drilled. Waiting on Mr. Jeff to get in here. There's that one. Side. They're melting my phone right now. My mother-in-law and my kids went to get ice cream, and I guess they're like fat shaming each other or some shit. I don't know. All right. So I don't know if Jeff's gonna make it or not. He said my link hadn't posted yet for the live. YouTube's been super dickish about that here lately. But man, get your ass to work. It's only 2 o'clock. Bro, I'm off during the summer. I'm paid off. Alright, so, right off the rip, got a package yesterday from Mr. Jeff. 2-minute tips for wood turners.
Dad.
Hey, buddy.
You want me to keep him out there? Are you doing a live?
I'm doing a live. You can keep him with you. I don't care. You can come in here and hang out. It's up to you guys. So, Mr. Jeff sent me this era volume. I don't have this one yet to add to my library of woodworking stuff. This one's actually pretty cool. Flipped through it. I was reading it last night while I was working with something. And there's some ideas coming out of this. We're going to sip and soak and go back in the house. I don't like sawdust on the pages. That's why I don't keep my library out here. He also sent me some stickers. Let me cover up a phone number there. So this bad boy's getting ready to get slapped on the lathe here in a minute. He sent me one of his business cards too. Like I don't want to show his phone number online because there's a bunch of creeps out there. But thank you, Jeff. Now we're gonna slap this on the lathe real quick, and then I'm gonna show you the creme de la creme of the arrivals. I don't want to put this up here by the spindle because I'm afraid that can't even fucking see it there. Hold on. There we go. I don't want to put it up there by the spindle because anytime I turn anything of any size, it'll eclipse it. But Jeff is going right there. You probably seen that phone number, and I'm a horrible friend. Okay, so Jeff's on there. Jeff, I'm going through your box right now, brother. I just told him about the badass book by Jorg that you sent me. Yeah. And then I put your sticker on here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the creme de la creme. I made the dead blow mallet a little bit ago, and I sent it off to Jeff because he commented on the video, said he'd like to make one. I was like, fuck it, dude. He was like, I'll send you one, you know. Jeff's my dude. He's like the mentor for me. This is the Warlock that I got in the mail. This is got some steel BBs in it, or lead BBs in it. Looks like curly maple. Insert, handle. It's up thunder gouge. And I got some beautiful walnut on here. He went a step further, and him and his lovely wife, they dowed this and everything else. You best believe that there's some shit getting put together with this. Almost feel too bad to like smack stuff with it, but I know he made it to use it, and I'm going to use the hell out of it. Now, I have been up all night fighting with a laser because I'm an idiot, and Creality's laser is phenomenal. So I've got two different variations of coins, and I've decided to do it two. You can make another if it does. Thank you and your wife for that so much, dude. You have no idea how much I love that mallet. That is beautiful. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably take some of this ironwood that I smuggled in from the Mayan jungle on my cruise, and I'm going to turn up this set of Narex handleless chisels I got because it almost matches that walnut perfectly, and they're going to get a very nice box here in the next little bit. Alright, so I still not doing the challenge coins and everything like that, and I've got these in little plastic cases because I haven't got to buff them yet, so hit them with some Scotch-Brite, but I haven't really got to take them to a buffing wheel. My normal bowls, oak, maple, all the domestic stuff like that, nothing too crazy, is going to get one of these bad boys in it. Now, that is etched into the coin. It's nothing too crazy. It does have good color. It's not rubbing off or anything like that. And super detailed. Like the filigree came out really happy. I thought I was going to have to do like a whole bunch of super deep stuff on this. But these for the flats turned out great. And I'll probably put something like this on top of my cutting boards unless it's a super high end or super high profile. Now these, pop this out of the case. These will be going in the bottom of my segmented and my exotic wood cutting boards and stuff like that. These are actually embossed, cut in there. This is the first one I've done. I still got to hit with the polishing, but you have, so I get my hand behind it here so you can see it. It's 3D, it's embossed, everything's cut, filigree's cut, super high detail. So I think that these are going to go on the bigger bowls and more artistic pieces. I think that'll be a fair trade-off because one of the reasons and the deciding factors, until I figure out exactly how to set the parameters right on that laser, it takes about 2 hours to make one of these coins. I've got one for Ryan and they're going in the laser right now. It takes about 20 minutes to make one of these, so I think it'd be a lot more expedient. So I can put these in the bottoms of the bowls that people have won off raffles and stuff like that, send them to you, and it's not going to cause any delay. Good talk. Wow, 2 hours. Yeah, the first run I done, it was going to take 12 hours, and I worked with the parameters and speeds and millimeters per second and light frequencies and wavelengths. I mean, it's some NASA stuff. But I got that all squared away, and I got it down to like 2 hours, 1 hour bowl, and 2 hour coin. Yeah, no doubt. But the one I've got in there going for Ryan right now, it's a dummy run that I got going. It's sitting down at like right at 45 minutes to an hour for the completion and the cleaning process and all that. Once again, learning curve. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but I try. So, while we're out here today, and we've got the mail call out of the way, get my tape out of here. I will definitely need my tape. Set this over here. Jeff's address doesn't wind up on the internet. We've had this thing in my kitchen for best part of 5-10 years, and I absolutely hate it. I think this is the most tackiest damn thing that you can have. Wife uses it to put snacks in there for my little crotch gobbles to eat off of. I'm gonna make something like this today out of wood, do some spindles, and I'm gonna use some oak that I got out of a scrap pile. It's just a little, so I don't care to really stain that and doctor those up. And I'm gonna use some maple. I'm gonna make the shelves and the bulb on the top of the finial and spindle work out of maple, and then I'm gonna make the 3 spindles out of oak, and then I'm gonna turn them black. So let me chuck this bad boy up, and we will get to it. Get you over there. Need my worm screw. And I'll move you guys here in just a second, get you guys lined up. That's on there. Still waiting for more entries in the mallet. I'm going to make a mallet for your entry. I've got to make some for the show, and I figure I'd do that. And I don't see why it'd be a big bad thing. So right off the rip, I'm using some of this maple to make shallow bowls, 8x8, and then I've got a 6x6 piece. I'm going to lose a little bit of size on this, of course, rounding it out. I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. One thing I have decided that I am going to get for my lathe is a extender for my quill on my tailstock. I got kind of spoiled with that Macarol, the FL 1221, because it had the ability to do like it had like a 4.5-inch quill on the tailstock. I missed that. Get you guys back here a little bit so you can see kind of what's going on. Make sure this isn't going to get in the way, which it undoubtedly is. Alright, we're going to tighten that in. Move our wood pieces out of the way. I'm going to throw on the old apron. We're going to get cracking. Cracking. Like that cracking. What the hell, what I got going on here? There we go. Alright. Thank you much. Kind of fond of the Grizzly too. All about supporting. Yep. So got this. We are going to. This is face grain. Yeah. Try to get her rubbed down a little bit with take her down to where she's cruising at right about 950 to $1,000. Take the watch off for break another one, and my wife's gonna rip my ass again. Speed up a little bit because I'm a glutton for punishment. little bit of hang off over there, so we're going to bring this in just a tad bit so I can do some procedural work on this lip up here. Take it a little bit further and then we'll start the shaping process. I want to get this rounded off, flip it over, put a mortise on one side to shore this up. It's not going to be a big closed rim bowl or anything, it's just very basic, and on the inside of it we're going to do a small mountain with a small mound, flat top, shear it off and put a hole in it. That way I can put some spindles in it. Also, some of the wood that I got from that the estate sale the other day. Right up the edge. Nowhere near round yet, but we're getting closer. Just want to see exactly about what kind of size we're going to be working with in the end game of this. Okay, so right around where I've got it short off, so we're not that bad off. I like speed. Bring in the top part a little bit more, and then we'll give it a straight cut across the sides. I'm assuming this is hard maple. If it's not hard maple, it really missed its calling in life because it's hard. Sharpen, get back into it. That's what it was. Now move the camera up. Yes, Jeff was 100% right without even talking. It was. That was my tool, being dull and shit. Right up to the edge. Plane that off. We should be round or right at it. Yeah, we're round. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're not doing a full-on OG bowl on this. I want this to be able to actually like have a little bit of capacity to where it can hold stuff on the inside of it. So I'm just gonna do some rounding and cut a mortise in the bottom of it, and then we're just gonna bevel this off, just your regular standard style run-of-the-mill bowl. Started chattering up there at the end once I had more overhang, a little bit over an inch on the overhang of the bowl gouge. And from watching Jeff, I've learned that it's important that you don't push and force the gouge into there. You want to let it kind of feed itself. The only thing we're doing now is doing some shear scraping on the sides of it to kind of get that bowl that we want. See right here at the edge of it, you take one hand and you can actually dig in, get your little bite, and you can work that. Now the further my bowl gouge gets away from that bowl rest, it's when the chattering starts to pick up. shear scraping right here around the outside edge of this. I'm just going to round this off. Just cutting little wisps, make that kind of smooth, fade into it. Bring this in a little bit. Take off this new bevel that we put up here in the corner. I think that kind of puts it where we want it. I'm going to use tailstock support for as long as I can. I'm not touching anything. Okay, and I want to give this a little bit of a toe going over this way so I can ensure that it sets flat on the counter, the surface, or wherever the hell my wife puts this, that she doesn't throw it out. From the back. Turn our speed down a little bit, actually all the way for when we fire it back up. I'm going to move our tailstock out of the way. We'll give this some love on the bottom, cut my mortise, and then we're going to move on to the next piece that we're going to round off. We're going to go ahead and we're going to round off all three of our pieces before we even start any spindle work on this. Yeah. Need to bring my tool rest down so that my bottom wing is right below center or on the line. Take my spindle detail gouge. That's going to be my mortise. And I'm going to take my square inch scraper that's undoubtedly hiding over here. Still needs maybe a little love, I don't know. We got an edge on her. Move this tailstock back out of the way because I keep jamming my elbow off that pin. If you guys haven't, please go check out the other channels. Jeff from 2 Minute Tips for Woodturners. The guy's my unofficial mentor, and that's basically unofficially because he won't claim me. Keep being like, dude, just say that you taught me stuff, and he's like, no, you fucking moron, we're not doing this. But he's a phenomenal turner, and I've learned so much just by watching that dude that I'm dumber than most household animals, and I guarantee you could learn some stuff from that guy if you just took the time to check him out. You got Michael Wilson with board, handcrafted. You got Johnny's Lathe Crafts. You got Ronick, Highback. All these guys are in here. All these guys are phenomenal. And Shoots. Can't forget about the Shoots. You want to learn how to shine something, watch the shoots. YouTube kind of breaks it off in us as wood turners as a whole. Unless you're some 50-year-old chud playing video games in your mom's basement, or some chick shaking your ass, farting into a jar or something. You really don't get the exposure that you rightfully should. So we do everything we can here to kind of support each other, especially the turners and other woodworkers. Alright, that's squared off. We just started the spark. What? I would totally watch you shake your ass, man. Yeah, so you guys that might be new around here, I've been wood turning for about 2 years, almost 2 years. I met Jeff through my homie, Ryan, 77 Rockets. Also another great turner, great channel. Guys' numbers are blowing up. But I've been turning for about 2 years. I quickly fell in love with it. But when I first started out, I had a lathe called the Franken lathe, and it literally had like lawnmower parts and shit strapped to it, just so I could get something going. It was when my shop first started up, and it was a far cry from this beast, this Grizzly 16 by 47 2 horsepower Warlock that I've uniquely dubbed Bobby G, in remembrance of our good friend Bobby that passed away. But anyways, Jeff would be the dude that would come in there on my lives when I first started kicking off with Sunday Spun Days, and he'd be like, shit's gonna fly off there. I'm assuming you're rolling about 2,600 RPM, and then he would just like give me advice. And after a while, it kind of like stuck with me, and I was like, yeah, I should probably listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. And then finally, last, Jeff started filming his own videos, and if you don't watch them, you're missing out because you will straight up learn some shit. But Jeff, even though he hates to claim it, is my unofficial mentor. There's not a lot of dudes around here that turn. There's not a lot of dudes around here that would take the time of day for a guy like me to turn. It's much better. Rough spots out of there. So, I guess my wood turning club is on the internet. It's trans-global at this point. You got Michael Wilson from over in Scotland tackling Highland cows and eating haggis and stuff. You got Jeff and Ryan over there on the East Coast getting all the sunshine. You got David up here in Canada fighting off the Great White North and snow walkers. Okay, we'll grease that up. Matter of fact, I think we're going to go ahead and hit this with some love before we do that. That way when we come back, the only thing we got to do is hollow it out. I do got a little bit of dig lines in there I want to take care of real quick. Sorry, I know that I'm kind of scattershot with this. But it's going to go in my kitchen, probably. Well, we'll say it's going to go in somebody's kitchen. Depends if my wife lets me keep it in my kitchen or not. If she finds out I got that leaky dink ass wire rack out here, she'll probably bust a cap in my ass. I ain't going to lie. Alright, so. It's going in the kitchen. I got one roll. It's oils and beeswax. That way no one can complain. No one can argue this isn't food safe or whatever. That, and I haven't found any paste wax yet. Yeah, it's for an estate sale find, I'm pretty tickled with this. I was actually in Jeff's, pretty sure it was Jeff's live stream the other day, and I was bitching that you cannot get maple in my area. It is hard to get maple, especially maple that ain't like all ate to hell up and crusty. You can get oak, cherry, walnut like nobody's business, but you cannot get maple. And ash is, I guess, hard to find everywhere now. Alright, let's set this over here. Wax sock. Yeah, so I'll take that. Okay. This has got to come off for a second. Pretty ass estate sale wood. Okay, so we're going to come over and we're going to chuck up the this piece. And when we do this piece, I do kind of want to give this an more of an OG shape on this one. Because this will be the bottom. I want to bevel out a little bit so you can get more stuff in there, and it's also going to give the piece that we're building the optical appearance of being a wider base. You know, like when Jeff says that if you thin out the edge of your bowl just a little bit, it makes your walls look thicker so you can hide mistakes when you're a total dumbass like me. See? I listen. Alright, so that's in there. We're going to catch. Hell yeah, we're going to catch. We're not going to catch there. We're going to catch a little bit there. Alright. We hit a fresh edge on the old bowl gouge, and we're going to get back into rounding this one off. Go. This is enough pussyfoot. Hold on. that's different. Okay, we're not loose, not wobbling. Check my chuck. Just look down, it looked like my tailstock was giving it a little bit of hell there. I don't know what that was. There we go. My bad. There we go. Not as ballsy as Richard Raffin. A little bit more takeoff. Not nearly as smart either. Something over here on this side of the room rattling is annoying the hell out of me. I think it's a bag of BDs over there. Pain in the neck is what it is. Yeah, I think we're good enough to cut the OG style in there. Whatever's rattling over here can go straight to hell. Yeah, because we'll sculpt that out as we cut the rim. Alright, so got the big rim for the bottom. I don't know. Relatively the same size. We're going to have to make this one a little bit smaller. Not a whole lot, which is fine. No OG on this one, y'all. Getting on, what are getting on? Kerry Corney, dude. The guy's a total badass, and he's from like Australia or New Zealand or something like that. I actually talked about him in one of my lives. Guy totally don't get enough credit, like Mike Holt and all them. Phenomenal ash turners. I've been kind of hell bent on the four ways, Richard Raffin, Mike Peace, Tomislav Tomazic, and the old Sam Angelo stuff for a while now. We're going to round this edge off down here, but we're not going to put a foot on this, because this one will be the next bowl up, be suspended by a spindle. So we're going to clean up the bottom, we're going to round off that edge, we're going to cut a mortise in it. Almost to the edge. And here's the cure cut, the cure scrape, clean up any of our imperfections. Take a hot bowl out of your arm, hell yeah, a little branding action in the shaft. Bring the speed down. Move our tailstock out of the way. Bring this right here. Okay. You're going to run that back cut all the way out using a scraper. Make sure you keep all your forearm down on the handle. Gives you a little bit extra support control. One hand right up on top of the tool, rest on top of the blade. Okay, so we need to cut a mortise, or actually, a mortise and a small hole in that. Just going to be enough of a mortise for us to lock our jaws in. We can't leave that looking all fugly. A little bit of back hollowing. That should be plenty sufficient for what we want to do with it. We're going to get our skew and our straight edge out of here, cleared up this nonsense in the middle. Put a dovetail on that. I think that's plenty thick enough for us to safely get our jaws on this vise in. Give our hole some love while we're at it. Alex called me last night, Jesse lives by Robin. What's up, 77? How's it going, brother? When you going live, man? That's annoying me. Yeah, 225 people watching. Everybody double tap that screen, help a brother out. Your likes help me in the long run. They also help other creators. The kind of stuff we need going. Turn the speed down on this. I forgot that I was still only like 750. 750 or big ass 50s. Count the green or get in between. Throw those 50s. It's a home, that's party. I know I've said this like a million times during this stream and all that, but I'm just about tickled with the damn real estate sale find, okay? Cool. Is it the best maple on the planet? No. Am I gonna use it and not look back? 100%. Raise the speed up so I can make sure that I got all that baked in there real good and melted into the grain. Okay. Very well could be better. And we might eventually go to that. Right now I'm just trying to get them all shaped out. So we got this one. We got this one a little bit smaller. And then we got a much smaller blank up here. We're going to crank this one out to get a smaller bowl. And then I'll put them all back on here. I'll hollow them out real quick. Leave the mound in the center with a socket for some spindle work. And then I'm going to get my big ass on here with these oak spindles. My rough and gouge, and then I'm going to turn some not too fancy, but I'm going to try my handle at some bead and cove stuff, and then a bulb finial for the top of this. And then I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to set it in the house and see if my wife even notices. That's the plan. New piece of wood, speeds down, she don't wobble, put a fresh edge on this. This piece is a little bit smaller, so I've done a little bit more of a heel beveled off on the bottom of this, so I can get a good run when I'm pushing back on it. 359 in here. Hell yeah, hit the like button for me. Mr. Wilson. Alright, she's turning around. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit. Now that I can bring this tilt or pull rest in a little bit, I'm going to get in here and really start hogging this off. Pay attention to our shadow line up top. Might have noticed I'm doing push cuts this way as a shear scrape, and that's because after watching a few of Richard Reffen's videos and like pausing and looking at it, his right wing is a little bit longer or more pronounced higher than his left wing. So that gives you the ability to do that. And I was just playing around with it, trying it, and I really, really like it. So before someone jumps on here and rips my ass for doing backward shear scrapes, just trying something. About as far as I'm going to go without catching some serious overhang. I know I got a little bit of tear out up here around the rim. Not too bad. We'll sculpt that out in a minute. I want to work on this bottom corner here, just kind of I'm not going to go past that edge. I'm going to remove that with a shear scrape. Okay, so now I want to round off the bottom of this just a little bit. We want to keep our bowls, although they're different sizes, we want to keep the dimensions and the symmetry on them fairly in the same ballpark. Walk that edge out to the side. Just cutting those little wisps off there. Okay. I'm going to make sure we're still tight on here before we dismount this tailstock. Get that big son bitch out the way because it weighs like 80 pounds and it's pointy and it stabs me in the elbow every time I try to move around it. But I'm not knocking it because Grizzly builds some heavy duty stuff. I do need to drop this down once again so our bottom wing is just below the center line. This one. Set that off to the side for a minute. Bust out the old scraper. Make sure we got it anchored to the tool rest where we engage the wood. Do not do what I just done. Drop this down just a little bit more. Cool. Where's my Mighty Mouse at? Oh, good thing I'm getting ready to cut all that out. Off the side, bust out this little fella right here. Take our skew, cut us a dovetail in the back of it. Probably should have done this to begin with, but I didn't because I'm stupid. Little tool I made. I'll let you guys guess where I copied this from. This lathe right now is only moving 1,140 rotations a minute. Turn this down a little bit so I don't snap my damn wrist off. It's clean enough for the socket I want. Move this out of the way, give it a quick sanding, give it some love. Dropped my sanding pad already? Damn it, I don't want to go get a metal one. Alright. Yeah, I'm out of the jackhammer safe, thank God. Ow. Ow, motherfucker. There's 5 more likes in here, people. Get me to 100. There's 380 of y'all watching. Yeah, that's pretty smooth, actually. Scotch-Brite, Billy Shoot Special. Turn. Direction of road. It's also mirrored. This lathe don't have a reverse. But if you're doling out wisdom, I'm willing to listen, bro. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. There we go. Hell yeah. Get her greasy. She's a dirty weasel. Alright, so if I done this right, and I very well might not have. Sit down. Alright. This piece is stacked. I think I've done a fairly decent job at tapering down dimensionally. I don't normally use a worm screw on a spindle, and might not be the best thing to do, but first time for everything, we're getting ready to find out, right? Put this off here so it doesn't fly up and hit me in my Jesus. Lock that down. I'll work with it. Give it some love. Vertical helmet. Work until it wasn't working, and that's what happened. Alright, so bring this in, lock this down. This will give us downward pressure on that, and then I'll just cut a tenon and we'll chuck it up. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Sure. Good idea. Get that round. That's round. I'll go ahead and I'll cut a ring in that. It's not exactly round, but it's got enough to where we can work with it. I will take my spindle detail. Taper in from both sides. That hole might have been too big for that. Totally my fault. Yeah, it's my fault. Who else's fault would it be? Alright. Take a worm screw out. I believe we're done with her for a minute. Set her up there. This is all sacrificial back past this point. Not wobbling too bad. Lines up still in the center. done with it. Take the number off in a minute. Get out my. Where's my little CS one? That'll work. Anchor, bevel, cut. Take our long end. That will work with that for a minute. Anchor, bevel, cut. Okay, anchor. Uneven. Cove this just a little bit more. Go. Now I think that we're going to put the mark of a bead right there. There. That'll taper around into that. Okay. I'm gonna back this up. Hopefully it don't get too wild. I'm gonna take my skew, dome this little piece off on the end here. I'm gonna lower this down just a tad bit. I'm up way too high. Flip it over and use the long point. Knock my piece off center because I'm a dumbass. How bad did I tear it up? Oh, real good like. Alright, stick with me. I'm known for fixing my screw-ups. Alright. Get this out of the way. Ow. Cool, buddy. Glad you guys are here watching me polish my knob. It's got a shine on it. Alright, I'm gonna bring this in here. Yeah. Perfect. Carding tool. I don't use it a whole lot, but it's got its purposes, I reckon. What's up, Bailey? That gives me knob, a little bit of a tenon, stick in the top of the piece. No, it's not a chest piece, it's the top of the dome finial for the snack caddy that I'm making. Took the idea of this ugly ass monstrosity that's been in my kitchen for a while, and my wife will probably beat the shit out of me once she sees that it's covered in shavings. Oh well, the only little ones. Made these 3 bowls, and then I've got some spindles to cut in between them made out of oak, and I'm gonna color that oak. But I want to put that piece at the very top of the oak segments. Make sure this is tightened up, and we'll get in here and get to hollowing expeditiously. cap. Just for the center, not on the bowl. What the hell I done with my bowl gouge because I leave it there and now I can't see it. Could have said something, y'all. Could have said something. Okay, so we're gonna leave that little tenon right there in the middle. We're gonna shorten it down a little bit, but I want it to kind of, the bowl to come in and then mount back up to that. Not quite mock Jesus, but enough to make the wood move. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way so I can really swing this this gouge sideways and get in here on this, because this is the only gouge I've got, big bowl gouge I've got, and I need to kind of hit this at a weird angle. Normally I wouldn't angle it this aggressive on something. Keep in mind, this is going to be a utilitarian piece. It's going to be something that we'll use. What's going on, Miss Francis? How's it going? That was dumb. Bull gouged. Okay, I do have a little bit of a line in there. I need to remove that. Go over and get my smaller bowl gouge, the asymmetric, not bowl gouge, bowl scraper. I've cut a notch on the back of all these. I've showed it a few times. It's just a little flat, and it helps them move backwards and forwards, especially when coming up towards islands and stuff like this. We're going to use the tip that Jeff told us. We're going to make the very edge of this very thin. Gives it the illusion of being like more thinner, more intricate, and a little bit more delicate, but still having the ability to use the piece. Now, I'm going to clean that up a little bit. I want that to be down just slightly lower than the edge of the rim of the bowl. Just like that. Come in here and sand the inside of it. Same process we do with the outside of it. Got something going on with my rim here. I may have to do a little bit. Yeah, I got a little discrepancy there on the rim. I hate doing this, I really do, because this is when shit flies apart on me. Where am I tying at? Turn this around. I'm going to have to shave off the top of that just a little bit. Might be able to catch that without shattering this. And there we go. Still gives us a thin edge look. Before we start getting dedicated, let's make sure we ain't got no more of that tear out in there. And we don't. Okay. I know, man. Beard, I'm working on it. I'm trying to patent these things. You be interested in a pair? Thank you. Dude, I wear it quite often. But there's just sometimes that I've just got to embrace the sketch. Like I said earlier, don't try this at home, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. Alright, that's cool. I like the shape of that. I like the way that looks. Let's get the next one on here and do the exact same thing, just a little bit bigger on scale. One. Two. Do this better. Let's get at her. Woo! Okay. Start. stuff smaller, scraper. Okay. Y'all are a talkative bunch today. That burned. Yes, I finished polishing my knob. New beginnings, brother, you are alive. I am so happy to see you. How you doing, man? There's a second one. Gotta be the middle here. Throw this on here. We're gonna try to knock it out in the same expedient ass fashion that we did those two. 10 on this one's a little bit more shallow because it's got an actual foot on it. But I think we'll be alright. Bring this up real close and dirty light. Put a fresh edge on the bowl gouge and we go get some Holland. Shabba-doop, motherfucker. This is your first time here on the channel. If you like this kind of content, do me a couple favors. Hit the like and subscribe button. Don't cost anything. Helps the channel out tremendously. I like doing this stuff. And then also check out the other channels on here. There's a bunch of phenomenal woodworkers and wood turners. A lot of them are in here. And get a chance, check out my biggest sponsors. One would be Gotwood LLC, also known as turningblanks.net. Brad's a hell of a dude. He supplies all my exotic lumber for the shop. You can use the code WHACKER, capital W-H-A-C-K-E-R, for your discount. The second is Turning Strong Ink pins. Put the Whack-A Shack in your checkout notes and they'll send you a free gift. It's pretty cool. Some velvet bags for your pen kits. It makes some pretty badass pen kits I'm pretty fond of. And they also make pepper grinders, stuff like that. Project kits. And one of my newest sponsors is Creality. And let me run this bead real quick. And I'll show you what they hooked me up with. Creality was cool enough to hook me up with their new flagship Falcon T1. So my run-of-the-mill bowls and all my cutting boards and stuff like that, they're gonna have these inset in the bottom of them now. These are actual challenge coins that you can engrave with that thing. I really, really like them. And then my higher end exotic stuff and more detailed stuff are gonna have these actual 3D challenge coins. I haven't got a Buffy to one of these yet, but they're gonna be in there, and I can do all that with the fiber head on the T1 Falcon from Creality. So I'm super appreciative of that. Check them out. I'm trying to get some discount codes for you guys so you'll have them. Until then, at least let them know that Mike sent you by. I don't know if the square end would work on this. This is probably not the best time to try this, but fuck it, let's put it on the edge. It almost feels like I'm cheating using this thing. Cool. Use this to bring that in a little bit. Things we're going to have to take into effect while we're doing this. This is going to be a towering multi-layered piece. I don't want to leave the bottom of this super thick, but I am going to have to leave a little bit of extra weight in the bottom of this, so it's not always toppling over on itself. know you. All right. Work on sculpting down this center just a little bit. Some of that shit out of the way. one more push. There we go. Hit this with my hole gouge just to make sure there's no lines or curves that should be in there in the bottom, or dimples. Dimples. Maple dust everywhere. So you're making a tiered cupcake? Oh, yeah, pretty much. Give that edge a little bit of love so I can give it the illusion of being super thin. That's sandpaper's hotter than piss. Right in there. That. Nope, no, not yet. Not yet, motherfucker. Okay, so there's the bottom. Take this off here. Drop my knob. Oi! Might as well just drop the damn knob, right? There's that. So I have that one. Then that one. Maybe that one. And then the knob on top. Now we're going to make some oak spindles to go in between these. I'm going to ball them up real nice. I don't want to go full crazy on it, but I do want to make, a little bit of nice detail in the spindles. Set that there, get some of these damn shavings off here. I'm going to have to sit on top apart an entire day just to come in and clean the sawdust out of my shop. See what I got booked for next year. That's probably not 100% centered on. Not real hell-bent about it. Don't really care. As long as it ain't going to fly off there, which it probably will. Bring this here, bring this here. Spindle gouge. You have to give it some love. Hold on. Pretty much, yeah. It's just about right it needs to be to work with. Okay, so we're around, about as round as we're going to need to be right now. Let's go ahead and do some marking on this. Maybe, hell, I don't know. I don't want to get like stupid wild with it. So we're going to put, that's where we're going to cut our tenon that goes in the other piece. We're going to do a cove there. Covers all the way to that. That'll be a bead. And then a ball. And then do that, and then we'll make that, and this will be a tenon as well. Alright. A little bit of a cove right here. Another one right here. beadwork. Little beadwork there. I'm starting to grow a, wouldn't necessarily call it a love, but a really a fondness for the spindle working. Is it a perfect spindle? No, not at all. Is it going to work exactly for what I want it to do? Yeah, probably. I already see that right here. And right down here, I need to pronounce this just a little bit more. I want those to be real defined. So, this is by far the longest one, so it's going to be the piece in between the bottom of the next here. Set that right there. Bust out the old calipers. Okay. This end. This size gap. All that you up there. I like using the smaller one on here because give it more control. That one's done. Okay, so it's going to go into the ass end of this bowl. Yeah, Bobby. Something that I don't normally do on this here. Lord, all really. I don't normally mess around with any kind of stains or stuff like that because I just don't like them. I don't like stains. I don't like I like ebonizing solution. I could roll with some ebonizing solution and stuff like that. But I don't really like taking away from the natural beauty of the wood. I use a lot of oils, wax, stuff like that. I'm going to attempt to not lose my damn mind when I do this. This is just some basic diluted down stain that I have. I still want the natural oak to shine through. I just want it to darken the grain a little bit, kind of like that. So I'm going to give it another once over with this nonsense. Set this up here out of the way before I spill it and get set kind of pissy. Knot. Alright, so that's got the stain on it. We're not going to put the oil on there because I'm afraid the oil might pull the darkening out of it, and that would just be like counterproductive as hell. I am going to turn it up now that I'm pretty sure I got most of it off there. I'm going to hit it with some beeswax. Turn the beeswax up to my Jesus. And it should help me pull off any excess, but leave that grain really, really dark. And it did just that. So we've antiqued the red oak grain. Got that dark, but we still got the grain coming through. Turn that right there for a second. I'm going to bring up this little fella right here. Sit that right there for a minute. Jeffro hammer. No glue. I don't like using glue on this stuff. Set this off to the side. Ow, damn it. Why am I holding the knob like that? That. Now we need to mount up our second spindle. This is going to be the top piece. Second piece is long too. Right there on that center pin. Shoops. Shalps. Sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. Okay. High speed. We'll spindle work. Plug my phone in. Oh, I think I'll be able to finish this before I gotta go. Awesome. Alright, so same thing as before. Cannons go in there. Not bad. Cove. What's up, Kevin England? Okay, that makes sense now. All right, good. sandpaper out here. This one has the picture on it. Jesus God, stand lightly. I get it. Leave me alone. Let it sit on there for a second while I'm storing this up. What's up, Lawrence? How's it going, man? Okay, that's been dried off. Speed up. Okay. And the third and final spindle. Looking at that and gauging the height, I don't think we need to make this one as long, but we do need to make it so I can put the cap on there. So let's knock this out like stupid quick. I know I've said this and I sound like a broken record, but if y'all would, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Your like helps us out tremendously. And I just broke 7,000 subscribers. I'd love to be at 10 by the end of the year. The YouTube algorithm just kind of like breaks it off in wood turners and most woodworkers, unless you're spreading the whole get rich off this 2x4 scheme. So, you guys' support means a lot to the channel. Turn around. Oh, 100%. It's Alright, I don't think we need to make our top spindle any longer than that. Let me just badass thing out of the way if I get something on it. Alright, so we're going to do a one cove, bulb in the middle. So we'll put our pin in there, cove, bead, bulb, bead, cove. That'll work. One cove, two coves. I'm going to bring this one in so like that. Put our mini spindle. We're community helping. Yes, we are 100%. Okay. Go, bead, ball, pull. Take this in just a little bit so I get the same angles on those. Bust out the old cashed it into debt. Most likely. Yeah. All right. We'll see. Okay. To accent the grain. Hammer. Yeah. I think it turned out all right. You prefer the metal one? Such a dick. All right. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get my boy to. You prefer the metal one? What an asshole. Thought you was my homie. Yeah, straight. Got some spindle work on it. Got 3 bowls. Not bad for estate style stuff. That being said, please check out the sponsors. Please check out the other channels. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. All that good stuff. I gotta go get the midget ready for football practice and wash the sawdust off me. Until then, peace. God bless. Love y'all. I'm out.